Hi, welcome to the demo overview of the Zoom simulation. So after you log into the simulation, you want to click on Play Solo Practice because you have to complete all 6 rounds of the solo practice. So here you'll see your name and it'll say Practice Company, and you'll be starting in year 1 or Y1. So you have to, in the first tab, which is Sales, you have to redesign your automobile. You have your customer expectations, what your customers would like, their low end and high end of their expectations, and how important it is as a percentage to their buying criteria. So when you input the data, now you can go above or below these. So if I want to do 25, 7, let's see, probably should go higher on that first one. So let's go 31 here since it's 25% of the importance factor. But for the engine power, maybe I will go lower since it's only 5%. So you get the gist of how this works. And I'm just throwing some numbers in here. I'll put in a sale price. And then it will tell me the gross profit margin. Now you start out at 40%, so all cars should be higher than 40%. So now we have the sales forecast. How do we do the sales forecast? If we open up the student manual and we go to forecasting, it will tell us the growth rates of each of the vehicles and the suggested not suggested, but what they're saying here is this: if everybody made the same exact car with the same exact price and same exact features, this would be the average sales per company for year 1. So I'm going to look at this and I have to judge, is my car better or worse than the average car, and then make my forecasting from there. So I'm going to go back in. And also down here, remember, you also have forget your login. If you forget your password or your login name, you can click that. Student manual and support if you have any problems or issue with the sim. Okay, so following, I'm going to put in what I think I could sell for each of these. And again, I'm going to put in some numbers here. And I'm just throwing some numbers in here, so I wouldn't exactly copy me. Okay, so I have above 40%. So every round, the way business works is every round you want to do better than the previous round. So every year you want to do better than the previous year. So you want higher profit margins. So you want to go, profit margin should be increasing every round as you're moving forward. So now I'm going to move into the truck class. And I'm going to put together design the vehicle, set a sales price, and then again going back here to see, okay, 1800 for trucks, 1688 for year 1. So I'm going to put, I don't think my truck is that great, so I'm going to put 1700. And then here I do now I'm on the luxury. So you only have 4 car classes to work with. And so I'm going to put together my luxury car now. And again, I'm just putting numbers in here. I'm not really putting a lot of thought into it because this is really just to kind of show you how to do the mechanics. Okay, so let's see here. I can make this a little bit higher. So I'll put this at 100. This 110. Okay. So now I have a pretty decent, and I'm going to put this at 1800. Okay, so now that, if you see I've submitted the results for all the rounds, I'm going to click on Submit Sales. Now, this targeting here, this is not going to affect anything. This is just part of the role play. So when you do the teamwork, you'll notice that you will have a team reflective observations that you'll use that will connect back to this age target and income target. But for the practice rounds, it doesn't really mean anything. So here's the range, $500 to $1 million. So again, I'm going to go to the student user guide, and I'm going to scroll down, and I see that here is how effective each of the media is in selling my products. So television and newspapers sell the most. So once I have this, and this is for each car class is a different range of effectiveness. This is just an example of how to put that into dollars, because you don't put percentages in, you put dollar amounts in. So if I go back, I have a 500,000 to $1 million. So I definitely, for TV, I want to put a lot of money into TV and a lot of money into newspapers, because those were the two areas that had the most sales. Now for everything else, I'm going to put a smaller amount in because they're not as effective. So now I'm somewhere between 500 and $1 million. That's kind of where I want to be, and that's good. So now I just did the economy class. Now I have to do the sedan class. So this is a little repetitive. I'm going to stop the video here, continue filling this out, and then move to the next one in a second. Okay, now I'm in the production area tab. So in this tab, I have to build my cars. So I forecasted 2,000 vehicles. I currently only have one production plant that can make 1,000 vehicles. So I'm going to need to buy one production plant, and that's going to increase my total capacity to 2,000. So you see here, I had 1,000 as total capacity because that's what I owned. And I went out and bought another plant. Now I have 2,000 capacity, and it cost me $10 million to do that. So I see my excess and shortage, so I'm always going to match my excess or shortage. Okay, so that's a mistake. There we go. So I want this to be 0 because I want a production plus inventory to equal what my forecast is. You never want it to be higher or lower. You want it to exactly equal that. Because if you had, say you put in 2,200 here, this excess, I should just go back and increase my sales forecast to 2,300. So you want to always match your excess or shortage. And then these are optional investments that I can make. And what these will do are these will increase, let's put one level. This, if you read this down here, it'll show you that every level I buy, I get an operational cost reduction next year. So it takes a year to be effective. And then I move on to the sedan class. So now I have a capacity of 1,000 because I have one plant, but I need to make 2,700. So I'm going to actually have to buy 2 production plants. It's going to cost me $20 million to make that 2,700. I'll buy some of that. Okay, so truck. Again, I need to buy one production plant, and I can make my 1,600 cars. And I'll buy some operational investments here. And then now I have my luxury, and I need to buy one production plant. And that you buy one production plant, you keep that. So next year that will always be there after, because I build a production plant. And let's do some operational investments here. Okay. And let me submit the production page. And then I go into the finance page. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and see I have a deficit here of $5 million. So what I can do to alleviate that deficit is I'm going to borrow some additional funds. So I'm going to borrow $5 million and $5 million and $5 million. So borrowing extra funds, so I borrowed $15 million of funds, and you'll see down here that gives me a surplus of about $9 million. Because should always have a surplus of around $10 million when you finish a round, just in case you don't sell all the cars you forecasted to sell. Otherwise, that will lead to a deficit. Okay, so I've completed sales, marketing, production, and finance. And what it does here is it gives me a pro forma, which is a guess of what next year's financial statements will be. And I see that my sales are increasing, right? My profits are increasing, and I have a surplus. So I'm going to complete the round. Now, only in the practice rounds does it roll over and give you the results right away. When we do the team composition, we're going to have to wait. So I scored 925 points on the first round. So this overview, I'm in round 2 now. So the overview says compares year 1 to year 2 financial indicators. So these are things we're going to learn in chapter 3, these financial indicators. So what I'm being judged on is how much did I improve over the last year. And I improved quite a bit to where I made 925 points. So now I get an assessment, which is going to rank. So I only got 3 out of 5 stars for revenues, so my revenues were low, but I got 5 out of 5 stars for stock price. So this goes over all the financial ratios and gives you hints on how to improve them. Okay, so now once I finish, you should review the assessment all the way to the bottom. Then charts. This is where you can view your performance chart, sales, marketing, industry. So say I look at the performance chart. This will show me graphically how I did. Now, the most important part of this performance chart is the very bottom, where it shows me the yellow is my actual sales, the blue is potential market sales. So I undersold. I could have sold 48 other. That's actually pretty close. So I only missed it by 48 cars. I met all my potential in sedan. Now truck, I could have sold another 63. So, and I met pretty much on target for luxury. So this is a good thing to look at, just to kind of get an idea of how your forecasting compares to your actual sales. Now I move into industry, and this will show me how I did my decisions and my score against the competitors. So in the practice games, you're just competing against computer players. So you can kind of see what did they do and how did their results work out. Financials will back up all the actual financials from year 0 and year 1. So year 1, the financials, I thought I was going to make 250 million in sales, but I only did 237 million. And for profits, I thought my profits were going to be higher, but they're actually lower than was forecasted. And that's because if I look in the production page, I had some leftover inventory. So these cars, I did not sell all the cars I had hoped to sell, and that wound up creating an unexpected drop in sales and profits. So now I start year 2 now. And you don't want to ever reset your practice game until you get to the end, year 6, and you complete year 6. Then on my side, on the grade book on my side, it will lock in that you finished a full set of practice rounds, and then you could reset if you want to play again. But as you're going through, now you go into year 2. So in year 2, I have year 1 decisions here, and now the customer expectations have increased as they do. And the amount that you could sell the car for, the maximum, has increased. You can't ever sell it for more than the maximum, but you can sell it for less than the minimum. So now I'm going to see, okay, I'm going to try to improve my vehicle over last year and hopefully get my my features up and get closer to my customer expectations. Now you notice here that I have this operational cost reduction of 1,200. And that helps to reduce the cost of making the car, which helps me to maintain my profitability. So now I'm going from 44 to 48. I always want to increase my profitability by, at least 4 percentage points or 5 percentage points each between rounds. Okay, so now that I'm in year 2, I'm going to go back to the student manual and see what go back to the sales and forecasting area. And I'm going to see, so year 2, we're moving from 21 to 27, 26 to 33, 21 and 22. So now I have my new targets. And again, those are just everybody being even. If everybody made the same exact car. So it's not exactly, just because it's in the forecast here, this doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. It depends on the competition and your price and how you make your car. So I hope you get that. Okay, so I'm going to put in for my economy class, and now I'm going to do the same thing for sedan. I have to redo the sedan, and I want to try to, hopefully I can get my features up so that my car continues to be attractive to the new, and you see how these expectation ranges in round 2 have increased. So now I go in, I'm going to price my car, and I'm below. So my gross profit is now below. It's not greater. So that's a fail. So my investors would hate me if I made a car with a lower profit margin. So now I'm going to have to go back in and adjust some of the variables here to try and get the price of my car lower. Okay, which it did. So I want this to be at least 100 though. Okay, so now I'm 2% higher. That's not the best, but it's still pretty good. I'm still higher. And I'm going to continue through the truck and luxury. I'm going to submit that. Then I'll move into my marketing page, and I see what I marketed last year. And you see that now the budget is a little bit higher, so I'm going to have to redo my investments for marketing for the next year for the cars. I'll submit that, and then I have to go into production. And I see here for the economy, let me just go back to sales. So sales, I'm forecasting. I didn't submit it yet, but when I submit it in production, this will say that my sales forecast will be 3,000. So I'm gonna need to buy another production plant to get up to 3,000, and then build 3,000, production of 3,000, and then increase. Hopefully, I can increase my operational investments, and do that for all 4 cars. Get into the finance page, maybe borrow some more money or retire some debt, and then submit the round. It automatically will roll me into year 3. So you just keep moving forward. Year 3, year 4, year 5, and then when you complete year 6, you'll be done. And it'll say results year 7 and just results. So you have to complete all those rounds. Okay, so then once you finish, remember, you need to score a minimum score of 1,500 points on the practice rounds. Now, even if you do get that 1,500 points and say by round 3, you still have to finish to round 6 because you could lose points in round 4 and 5. So you have to finish to round 6, and by round 6, when you complete it, you have to have a cumulative score of over 1,500. That means we're adding together each year's points to get over to that 1,500 to get the full score. And when you complete the year, that will automatically be marked in my side. I have an instructor side. It will be marked that you completed a set of practice rounds, and you're free to reset and practice some more if you want to. But just knowing that once you complete a set, I get notified that you've completed it, so I know that you're done. Okay, so that's my video, short video of how to do the practice rounds, how to get through round 1, and then start going into round 2. So I'm not going to finish round 2 completely because that kind of takes a while. So I kind of just left it off here. But I just want to show you that it gets repetitive. You're going to go, once you finish year Y2, you go into Y3, Y4, Y5, Y6. Don't reset until you completed it all the way to the end. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Look forward to, I'm going to make another video after I make the team selections to explain that. Okay, thanks.